This guy's not messing around. Like, he went immediately into the, oh, you're ready? Well, we're going to start right now.
Let's just go.
What the fuck does ready mean?
Let's hurry up then.
Cheesy crazy.
Why aren't you taking the freeway home? Why are you taking the streets?
Apparently in the South, they're not called freeways.
What are they called back here?
Interstates.
Oh, the interstate. I guess technically it was, in California, it was Interstate 5.
Nobody said interstate.
Welcome to the most popular podcast in the history of the world in our price range. It's
At this price, at this hour, you could find no better.
yeah, there's no one else right now doing what we're doing in Brentwood, Tennessee.
No way.
In a jiu-jitsu gym.
Yeah.
We're the only guys. What's going on? Welcome to Inside BJJ. I am Tim. I'm joined with Andrew and Omar. What's going on, Andrew?
Not too much. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing, Omar?
I'm doing well.
Right,
Doing real well.
Seconds before the show started,
Here we fucking go.
Omar and I were just talking about an idea, and I'm thinking this is probably not a bad idea. I'm like, what if we raised money to get you a tanning bed subscription?
Yeah.
Like it wanted like Have a Tan or one of these places.
I mean, let's
know?
get it in the comments. Who
Let's
wants
get
to
it.
see it? Like,
Would you strip all the way down? Would you nude tan or would you G-string tan?
Neither. I don't mind either,
Yeah.
but not under the context of tanning.
No. You wouldn't would you lay out in the sun? Would you sun?
No, fuck that big yellow prick.
Is it worse to be sunning or tanning? What's worse?
As a male, I'd say tanning.
Tanning's worse than sunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to like, get in a special machine.
Yeah.
and-
Because I hate being tan, but like if a bunch of friends, are going
is
to
it
the
because you
beach.
can't tan?
well,
No, I can't. I tan really quickly. It
Oh
sucks.
yeah, you look like you tan really quickly.
Shine that light over here so the
Okay.
people see it.
Look at this
It's a
guy.
little crazy.
Look at
When
this
the light
guy.
really exaggerates.
Oh
it.
shoot! Oh, ready?
Did you kill the light?
It's
bad.
Oh, look at this guy. You want to step out of the car, sir?
Hey.
Fucking goth boy. over
Casper over here.
Yeah.
Caspar.
Jesus.
Jeez Louise.
Someone take his temperature. Holy cow!
There. That ain't good.
It ain't good.
I
Your,
didn't know. I
your
didn't know if
nickname
you
would be COVID. Oh, look at he's so cold he froze.
Look how my do that again. Look how my fucking nice little blue eyes pop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You look like a fucking.
What was that?
You look like a cat in the winter, freezing outside.
Don't know what that means, but all right.
You know that cat's eyes like kind of stand out a little bit.
Like any animal when they're freezing.
Well, I guess so, Andrew. I guess so.
I know
But
more about that.
We could get you a little Have a Tan subscription.
I didn't know Andrew tanned. I thought he just lobsters.
You lobsters.
Yeah.
No.
You reds up.
Yeah.
You don't get red. You get like a nice golden tan.
I mean, if it's wicked hot or wicked sunny, I'll get sunburn like anybody else would. But I tan fairly quickly, and it's irritating.
When I tan, I just start like geographically, my skin tone starts heading east. And the more I'm in the sun, the more east I look like I'm
The
from.
more Italian you get.
Oh, dude, and then it goes way past
It's real
Italian.
swarthy.
It gets Middle Eastern real quick, dude. It's
Moorish.
like, whoa, who's that guy? Like, when did you join the Taliban?
that guy's from
Like,
Iberia.
yeah, one of those countries you've heard of, but you haven't heard
I mean,
of.
we've all seen True Blood or True Love.
Yeah.
Or True Romance. My bad.
There
What
you
the
go.
fuck's wrong with you?
I know.
True something.
Something
I've seen
true.
none of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome to the show. We got the Kid Jett Thompson lined up. If you don't know who Jett Thompson is, this is a kid who came to the PGF season 6 and ran it all the way to the finals in the individual tournament. Just a stud, man. I watched a room full of killers literally train with each other on how to defend this guy's.
Try to deal with
his Aoki.
How old
lock.
did you say he was?
He's 17. Oh, yeah.
Can't
17, man.
do shit.
So it's, dude, 17 years old?
He's
Killing
a savage
grown
that
men.
cannot consent
Yeah. He
or
can't
drink
eat-
alcohol
I
in this
know.
country yet.
Right,
That's crazy.
right. Yeah. So we'll chat with him in just a few minutes here.
I
But
wonder if he tans.
he don't look like the tannin kind. He looks like, I'm pretty sure he's not goth, but he looks... I'm pretty sure Jett Thompson's not goth. I think he's a Oklahoma boy.
We'll have to get the Inside BJJ exclusive on that.
Okay, see? Yeah, we'll find out.
Bro, you goth?
Do you like The Cure? No? Okay.
I actually like the Cure.
Yeah, I know you
Of course
do.
you like the Cure.
Do you like Blink-182?
They're not goth, but
I
love
actually like
Blink-182.
Blink-182. This kid,
There's nothing wrong with liking Blink-182.
I think, and we'll have to ask
Fuck outta
him
here.
when we throw him on. We'll have to ask him. I'm pretty sure he's fixated on one particular song with one particular band. And I want to say it's Linkin Park. I think it's Linkin Park, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't quite remember, but he was at the time listening to the same song on repeat over, and he had like thousands of plays on this one song, which is kind of freaking scary in a way. It's kind of like psychopathic.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Like,
I can't judge that.
Oh no, you like that. Yeah.
I don't do it with Linkin Park myself, but
Yeah.
I did it today with Necrogenic Resurrection
Necrogenic Resurrection
by Cannibal Corpse.
This is a guy. If I showed you, I could show you the nicest bed in the world with a 10,000 count Egyptian cotton sheet, like just amazing. Or I could be like, you could sleep in that, or you could sleep in the coffin, and you'd be like, I'll be in the coffin.
What's on brand and what isn't?
You got something wrong with you, my man.
I'd actually probably take the floor.
What breakfast cereal are you eating? Count Chocula, like the monster stuff?
Blueberry.
I like corn pops.
Blueberry.
But to extend the joke,
Did you say corn pox? He's all, I like to eat corn pox.
corn pox, smallpox. I eat people's scabs with milk.
Yeah, I eat COVID for brekkie.
Yeah.
I do.
So, dude, guys, a lot of crazy stuff going down in
What a
jiu-jitsu right now, man.
What a week for jiu-jitsu.
Craig Jones is just, a lot of speculation. We've talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
We kind of tiptoed around it and talked a little bit, but Craig Jones just came out. He was on JRE, and he was also on Ariel Hawani's in May Hour. And just really broke it down, man, and was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what we're doing. This is the goal. This is why we're doing it. And it's interesting to see the debate in the jiu-jitsu world on it, because not only are like the chorus of Redditors are like, I think Craig should do this, and other people are like, I think Craig should do that. But at the same time, there's debate, like even within 10th Planet, like, is this good? Is this good for jiu-jitsu or not? And one part of me is like, man, this is really cool, because I like outlaws. I like guys that just do what they want to do. I think that's freaking neat, right? But at the same time, it's like ADCC does have a pretty big place in the jiu-jitsu landscape, and it has kind of been the crown jewel that has brought a lot of guys some food to put on their table and sustain some people, right? So it's like, man, is Craig trying to take down ADCC just as bad as what he's accusing Mo of? Is it the same kind of hubris? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Why is the jiu-jitsu world so afraid of competition? Like, why can't there be other tournaments? What like, he's just going to bring down ADCC single-handedly? Like,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, I think, I'm sure we would all argue that competition is good.
Jiu-jitsu's super communistic, right? It always has been in the beginning. Like, you're going to go open your own school, you're dead to me.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, they're going to start their own team, they're dead to me. They're creonches. Oh, you're going to have your own promotion, you're dead to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the only guy that can do it. It's very much like dictatorship kind of driven. That's interesting. Yeah.
There's
I mean, just the mindset.
A lot of famine mentality.
Yeah, everyone's afraid you're going to take their piece of the pie. Yeah. Well, my question is this, is ADCC now has to, in a major way, define its identity and come out and say, this is who we are. We are the crown jewel of the amateur grappling world. That's what the Olympics are. They're not professional. They're amateur. And there's some notoriety and there's some money, but it's amateur. Amateur athletes supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
That's what we say. Okay. So is that what ADCC is, or are they a major promotion? Because if they start paying dudes, if they go, hey, guys, we're going to pay everybody more money, like seriously more money, then they're going like, hey, we're a competitive promotion in the market and we're in it to win it.
Yeah.
But if that's what you are, then it's no longer about prestige, it's about money.
Yeah, and entertainment.
So
right?
I'm saying, what are you? What is ADCC? You know what I think it is? I think it was just the only thing that's been here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's a good point.
And the reality is that if Craig Jones's thing pops off and they don't find their identity, there's the reality that they might fail.
They might.
I hope they don't.
Yeah.
because it's a great organization. I think.
I mean, just
Yeah.
like you said, it's put food on so many people's tables. You know,
Exactly.
so.
What happens if they both fail?
Something else will pop up.
PGF.
There's only 4. Yeah, PGF.
PGF.
Yeah.
PGF.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I don't know. I'm not a fan of Craig and the weird rule set. Like all the format sounds different. They're going to have 3-minute rounds. They're going to have a pit. They're going to like have a 10-9 scoring system for the rounds. Unless they're just lying, this is all deflection and they're going to do a standard. Like, but I'm thinking this. I'm Andy Varela. I've been training my ass off for 2 years to get my comeback at ADCC. Okay? That's all I'm focused on. Yeah, he did PGF, but man, it's about ADCC is what these guys want.
Yeah.
And then Craig comes around. He goes, hey, I got this other thing. Give you 10 G's. And if you win, there's $1 million. But it's not the way you've been training at all for the last 2 years.
Right.
Like you have done nothing to get yourself ready for this. You want to do it? Man, some guys are going to be like, no, dog, I don't want to do it. Because the single-mindedness and the focus you need to be the champion at ADCC can't be deterred.
Yeah, that is a good
It
point.
can't be fucking deterred by another promotion that comes along and dangles a carrot in front of you. And if it can be, then you're not winning ADCC, that's for sure.
Or you try and do both.
You're trying, maybe. How you
I
going to do
mean,
both on the
I don't
same
know.
day? Bo Jackson it?
They're
Deion
the same day.
Sanders?
Damn.
Deion Sanders just go back and forth between
Yeah.
the venues, fucking dudes up.
That's a good point. I mean, what's more important to these guys, right? It's going to come down to prestige or money.
Yeah.
I think the more organizations that open up like this, whether it's Craig Jones, whether it's Gordon Ryan in the future, whether it's Andy Varela, if he decides to do something like that, it doesn't matter. The more organizations that open up like this, the more events, the more tournaments, the more whatever, the more money that comes, I think will be a huge incentive to grow the sport. I think that could be, at least right now, one of the number one drivers.
Yeah.
I think money will talk to a lot of guys that, until Craig Jones's thing, don't have the opportunity to show up somewhere and get paid livable wages, at least for a while.
Yeah.
To just dedicate to training for the next one.
Well, 10 G's will go a little ways, but it's not going to take you the whole way.
No, for sure.
Dude, a mill?
A
But
mill will
zero?
change your life.
Yeah, but 10 G's
Yeah.
compared to 0 G's.
So
is
this
at least
is
something.
this is the opportunity that Craig Jones has ahead of him. Okay, this is what they have that nobody else has right now. They have the opportunity now to get that camera shot of this athlete who's been training his ass off his whole life, scraping to get by, doing seminars, doing this, doing that. And I mean, it's not a terrible life, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but it's a hustle. It's
Yeah.
a hustle.
Yeah.
And they're going to have the confetti come down from the ceiling. They're going to give this dude a giant check for $1 million. And for the first time in jiu-jitsu, in front of our eyes, we're going to see somebody's life go boop and change right in front of our eyes. You're going to see somebody go from amateur to like, holy shit, this dude's life is never going to be the same now.
Yeah.
Nobody has done that yet. In the jiu-jitsu promotion world, it hasn't happened. That's what Craig has the ability to do. And potentially that's what has the ability to attract millions and millions and millions of eyeballs.
I think whoever
That's a big deal.
whoever wins the million should show up to the ADCC second day final
Yeah.
with their check.
With the check.
What if it's like some kind of deal where they're like, oh, in the contract it says you have to donate that back to the charity. You don't
No
keep
way.
the $1 million. You got to give it back.
No
man.
way.
No.
Everyone peer pressures you into it. You got to give it back, man.
Yeah.
It's for Ukraine, dog. Come on.
Definitely not giving.
Come. It's for the pier, dude. It floated off in the sea. We
Yeah.
got to get that shit back,
Yeah.
dog.
Oh my God.
Come on, man. It's so we can win the meme war.
Yeah, the meme.
I'm a
This is
professional
about to-
memer.
This is about to turn into Inside Andrew's extremism.
Inside Andrews. Cold dead body. You literally look like you just got pulled out of like a
morgue.
a freezer. Yeah. Just came out. We should get some like dry ice and have it
Around
just
him?
like come up. Yeah.
Fog machine.
I want to play and fight this as if I don't want that.
Yeah.
But you want it.
Yeah,
He'll
but
do
you
it.
want it.
You
Yeah.
want it. You're like the poorest of poor man's Undertaker. You're our Undertaker, basically.
Yeah.
You're the inside BJJ Undertaker.
That is a wrestler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
How do you not know the Undertaker?
That is a wrestler. You're not on Jeopardy, bitch.
I wanted to make sure.
You have to
You got
answer
to
with a
answer that in the
question.
form of a question, motherfucker. Try again.
You told me I got 10,001 for showing up today.
What, is a wrestler, Alex?
Yeah.
Ooh, no. Paul Bear was
Paul
the answer.
Bear.
Paul Bear.
Okay.
Close
I just wanted to make sure I was tracking what you were talking about.
tracking. I'm tracking you, Sensei. JK. I love you, man.
Okay.
God damn.
Moving on.
So, yeah, CJI. Interesting stuff. We got EBI coming up this weekend. Absolutes. Look, it's
yeah.
10 years to the date.
10 years, man.
10-year anniversary of EBI to the date.
That's awesome.
The absolutes are going to take place. There's some big names in it. I'm happy. I want to see EBI. I love EBI. I think EBI rules totally changed the game for no-gi jiu-jitsu. Back in the day, it was EBI versus Metamoris. That was the game, dude. Everyone was hopped up on it. Now the drama, Craig Jones versus ADCC. Same stuff, though. Just different players, right?
Yeah.
EBI's still around, man. It's a great format. You guys going to watch it? It's on Sunday.
I'm going to watch it.
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm going to watch the fight
I'm gonna watch it.
Saturday, and then I'm going to watch that.
I'm going to watch it. I think I have 2 doubles coming up at the bar, so that's going to suck.
Oh.
I'm not going to be able to watch it.
Yeah.
But I'll watch it Monday.
There you go. It's just not the same when you watch it like the day after.
Well,
Yeah.
nobody
It already happened.
Nobody in my life, other than you guys, like Jim
Watches
buddies,
fights.
watches them, so nobody's going to spoil
It's
it
too
for me.
violent. I don't like seeing people punch.
Well, they just have no idea what it's like to get
I like to watch
choked.
tennis.
Boxing, gentleman's sport.
Gentlemanly boxing.
Yeah.
I want to see someone get concussed with repeated blows.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
I like my brain swelling in 12-ounce gloves. Yeah, I'm stoked about that. That it's absolute. Just a lot of big boys in that one, man. Big Dan is in there from.
Oh, Big Dan.
Yeah, that guy's beast mode.
I don't want any part of that.
Ryan Aiken's in there from 10P Atlanta. Like, dude,
Sweet.
he's got a good chance. There's some big names in there.
Whenever I see heavy or absolute, I look at. That's what I would be competing in if I decided to. I'm like, I don't want any part of that.
You're like, nah.
Go there and
So-
embarrass myself.
Yeah, I feel you. Hey, let's bring Jett Thompson on. He has been on standby here, and if you guys don't know who this kid is, man, you're in for a real treat. He's just a real fantastic jiu-jitsu player to watch. And I met him at the PGF, and I know some folks have known about him. I know he's been out there a little bit. I just had never seen this kid like this, and to watch him in person was a lot of fun. So I really wanted to get him on the show. So let's welcome Jett Thompson to Inside. Oh, go ahead, Andrew. You added him, and I pulled him. What's up, Jett? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey,
what's
dude.
up, man?
I've been wanting to get you on for a little while since we talked at the PGF. How have things been since then, man? Like how did it take you? How long did it take you to recover? And I'd be interested in just your overall impression of the PGF.
Dude, PGF was like by far like my favorite tournament I've ever done. I've never done something like that, and I really enjoyed it. Like as far as recovery, I was like fine. Once I flied home, I was ready to go. You know, I think I was home for a week. Then we went on a cruise, and then I came back and been training.
Where did you guys go on your cruise?
Cozumel.
So is that your first cruise, or you guys like cruisers? Is that something you all do?
So that was like my first cruise. I went on a cruise when I was like 4 months old.
That doesn't count.
What was it like?
What did you think of the cruise, man? I've never actually been on a cruise. Have you guys been on a cruise?
I've been
I've
on
never
one.
It's funny that you asked a 17-year-old about.
I know.
recovery.
Well, man, like, what did you? Here's my thing. There are literally people who go on cruises and they have to buy a whole wardrobe for the cruise. Like, I need cruise wear.
Oh, really?
It's like you're basically in like a lame Navy. You're like, you know what I mean? You're not in the real Navy. You're like in the fashion Navy or something.
Yeah.
It's like being a
it was
merchant
funny.
marine.
I just like walked around the ship and ate ice cream all week.
A lot of food. Did you put on a lot of weight?
Yeah, I was up to like 180.
Did you do any training? Any way to train on the cruise? You just grab your dad and like rough him up.
I tried doing cardio, and
Yeah.
I went to their gym there, and they had a rower. I'm like, okay, that's not that bad. I was
Yeah.
1,600 meters into using the rower, and I broke the chain.
Oh, they're like,
damn.
we've never had anyone row this hard. It's probably just like a bunch of old dudes in there using it.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't really have much to do all week.
So, man, let's talk about PGF season 6. Walk me through how did you get the invite to season 6? Did you win a qualifier or did you get invited?
No, I got invited. Yeah, I remember I was like eating breakfast or something one day, and then BMAC calls, like, text me on Instagram. I'm like, all right, and then we ended up setting up like a video like call, and yeah, I just talked to him for about like 15, 20 minutes, and got invited to the PGF, and then yeah, showed up and had some fun.
Was that the first time you've been in a format that was anything close to that? Like, there's not a lot of team formats outside of the quintet. You know, it's usually like
the first time I've done like any team event.
When you came into it, did you practice for that format or have any particular strategy at all, or did you just be like, dude, I'm raw dogging this, like I'm showing up?
I did for like 2 weeks, like, but between like
2 weeks.
PGF, yeah, that's what.
He's like, I played Street Fighter 2 for 2 weeks. That's how I got ready for it.
I played Tekken before I come in here.
Yeah, I played Tekken. That's wild. When you went into it, what was your expectation? Did you have, I mean, look, man, when I was 17, if you told me, hey, you got to go into this tournament, there's 19 other, this is like some Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon shit. It's going to be filmed in this special location. Yeah. You got all these like people sitting on couches with their little dogs on their lap and they're petting them. And is there any point where you're like, what the fuck did I get myself into? Like, what?
That was like Truman era too, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's like Andy Varela standing across from you, PJ Barch is standing across from you. Yeah. Was there any part of you that was intimidated or just like, what am I doing?
Yeah, bro. Probably that first night I walked in, and when they were doing the draft and they had like all the couches set up and stuff, and then like they had like Dean Lister and like Hodges Casey, like everybody just like lined up there. It's like, oh, what's going on? Yeah, I was a little intimidated that first night, but I was feeling good.
Do you know any of the guys, or did you know any of the other guys that were there on either like the first 20 or any of the guys that were on the alternates? No,
not really. Like I've talked to a few of them before. Like I've talked to like Max Hansen at some of like the finishers events and stuff. Yeah. I don't really like didn't know.
You're not hanging out. Yeah, I mean, like 5 years ago, you were literally like a little kid.
Yeah,
you know. So it's not like you're hanging with these guys. Yeah. You know. So you come into the draft. Do you have any expectations for where you go in the draft? Or are you just thinking like, man, I'm just going to get picked like near the bottom? Is that what you thought, or did you?
Yeah. I definitely wasn't expecting to get drafted for as much as I did, like that late in the draft.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I was, after like looking back at it, I was glad that I wasn't highly ranked, because I felt like that's probably why I got one of the better teams, was just because I was like, I didn't cost as much, so I got a good team.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean to cut you off, man.
Yeah. So I saw like Andy Varela and PJ Barch. They spent like half their budget on those guys, you know, so they didn't have as much to for the rest of their team.
Yeah. So one of the things is like, Higan Machado specifically said that he wanted to draft you.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know why. Like, and what I mean is like, he didn't go like, I've been watching film on this kid. He just said, I like that guy right there. I want to make sure I get him. So Brandon had got a hold of me the night before and was like, can you help Higan with his team? Just kind of help him understand how the draft's going and maybe give him some pointers on maybe get this guy, maybe get that guy. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting down and I'm talking to him right beforehand on the couches. And I'm like, is there anybody that you 100% like you want to get this guy.
Yeah.
And one of Higgins' students, Isaac, was there. He's a black belt OG guy, and he's like, no, not really. And then Higgin goes like, I want the kid. And we're like, which he's like, that kid. There's something about the kid. So we devised a strategy where we're like, well, let's hold some money back. And then when it's Jett's turn, we're going to have more money than everybody else. They won't even be able to get the kid. We're just going to dump the whole thing on him and be like, boom.
Yeah.
so yeah, man, Higgin specifically wanted to come after you, and it turned out to be a really good play, actually.
Dude, it was such an ace in the pocket.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So you come out. Who was your first match against? Do you remember?
It was John Combs.
John Combs. And how did it go? You tapped him?
Yeah, I ended up getting him with the Aoki lock, and I don't know how long it was. It was like 30 minutes or something.
Did you pop his leg, or did he get injured later?
I don't know if it was like all the way. I think I like started it, and then it kind of somebody else kind of finished it.
You loosened it up.
Whoops.
Yeah. Well, after that first submission, everybody was like, "Okay, wait.
Yeah.
What? Who? What just happened right now? Like who?
Yeah.
Who did? You know? And then what happens next? Was your next match Daniel Sattler? Was that your next one? Or
No. My next match was BJ Barch.
Oh, how did you feel going into that?
I was like, all right, this is gonna be a tough match. I was really excited because like that was the first like ADCC competitor I've ever fought. But yeah, it was fun. I was trying to enter his legs the whole time. I could never really get there though. But yeah, this is a fun match for sure.
You obviously really like the legs, going for the legs. So like, is that just something that you've recently been getting into, or has it always been your game?
Yeah, about 2 years ago, I started really working on my leg locks. So like originally it was just like, like the regular stuff, like the inside senkakus, 50-50s. But I started, watched part of like the Mikey Musumeci ankle lock system.
Yeah.
And then over like the last like year or so, I've really adapted to the Aoki lock.
What is it about the Aoki lock that you like so much?
People aren't really used to it anymore because everybody's used to playing leg locks with that real close range, like the 50-50, the like 411, where you're like hip to hip almost. But it's like every time somebody asks me about leg locks, I say I'm like a sniper. Like I get them from a lot of further range than most people.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean that is a good point because everyone's focused on isolation. Like you got to get a tight isolation around their knee, and the Aoki lock's like not exactly. Like you get people on the way out or on the way in. You get them early or late.
Yeah, especially like if you get them rotating the wrong way, that's where they're really dangerous. That's what happened to John Combs. Like he was rotating to the inside to defend the ankle lock, but I put the Aoki lock rotating to the outside.
Yeah, right. So he was basically going opposite of it, which was making it even worse. So yeah. That's and the Aoki lock is one of those things that when it's done right, like it comes on fast. There's not a bunch of time to mess around with it. Like it's gonna be a quick tap, and if you don't tap, your knee's probably gonna get popped.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Musumeci finished Aoki with an Aoki lock. So.
Yeah, that is true. How does that make Aoki feel?
It hurt like a son of a bitch, too.
If you're Shinya Aoki, it's got to... I mean, Shinya Aoki used to muff people up, though. You ever watched videos of him? Oh, he's broken all kinds of limbs and jacked dudes up. For sure, dude. Like, super killer in the Nogi world. He was doing crazy slick stuff like 15 or 20 years ago. Yeah, he did a bunch of cool shit, man. Everyone was like, "Yeah, he's Asian." Like, I don't know, like nobody could do it. It's like, yeah, he's good. Like, whatever. Yeah. Okay, so I think after your second submission, people started to take notice. Go like, okay, you start looking at the points board, and there's only a few names on the board that have points, and you're one of them. And I think that's when the competitors started to kind of take a look at you like, okay, who's this kid? Was there any particular point where you felt like your competition stiffened up and like maybe turned it up a little on you or became a little more aggressive or alert?
I would say definitely after my first day, they stopped underestimating me. Because I felt like going into the tournament, like I was a lower seed. I know some of those guys kind of knew me. Like Andy Varela said they were wanting me on their team. I think PJ did too. But yeah, I don't think they were thinking that I was on the level that I was, But going into the tournament, I think by day 2 they were definitely like game planning a lot more for me.
Did you notice that it got consistently harder for you as you went, as they got wise to what you were doing and started prepping for you specifically?
Yeah, a little bit. So, especially the Elijah Carlton match, which the first one, yeah, he was like he kind of knew what I was wanting to do, and he just wasn't letting it happen. And
He's a wild boy.
Yeah, and then he didn't really have any incentive to to submit me either, because that last night their team was already up so much on points.
Right. Who was your toughest match?
Ooh, a toughest match? Probably Varela.
In the finals?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
PJ was a good match too, though.
Well, the thing that got me about you and PJ was, if you go back and watch the video, you guys covered each other's mouths like 100 times, dude. And if you just make a highlight clip of that, it's pretty funny to watch. And it's a certain point, he just starts choking you. He's like, forget about the mouth. I'm just going to grab your neck.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not my favorite technique.
Those are two of my favorite techniques.
What I mean is this. It's super effective.
Correct.
I hate when people do it to me.
It is yucky.
Because it's already disgusting enough in a way, but it's like when a dude's going to put his dirty ass, sweaty fucking hand like all up in your face, especially like if it's just in class and we're training, I'm like, I don't know where your hand's been, dude. I don't want it in my mouth, man. Like, get it away from me.
It's not just his sweat.
Yeah, it's everyone's
It's
sweat.
Everybody's
sweat
you get
from
a little
everywhere.
taste to everybody.
That's how Gatorade was made.
Yeah.
Probably was. All that sodium.
I mean, I think that's the part that grosses me out, but it forces people to react. Most people will not let you just muffle them. Like eventually just your brain is like, get that off your face. You're going to die, stupid. Is that why you use it? Do you use it as a reaction tool or why do you use it?
Yeah. Well, there's a few reasons. Like if I'm not doing anything with my hand, I'm just going to like put it on your face,
You're disgusting. You use it because you're a monster, Jet. You're a monster.
Then also like it because if they're like, a lot of times when you're having to pass like a good guard, you have to use both your hands to control the limbs. So if you put your hand on their mouth, they have to take something, they have to let go of something to rip it off. So that's another reason why I like to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It forces their hand to act. It's part of hand fighting in a weird way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It is the ground equivalent of when you're standing and you're wrestling and a guy taps your head.
Oh, yeah.
It's that, but it's for the ground.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to tap your head because it has no effect on the ground. I'm going to put my hand on your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so annoying. I hate it more than anything.
The
head tap is annoying too.
annoying.
Dudes will tap your head like they're anointing you in church or something.
Yeah.
They're like, tap praise, brother. It's like, oh, you're it's just irritating, man.
Yeah.
Not cool. So in the finals with Andy Varela, obviously, Andy's an aggressive opponent. He's not playing around. He gets after it. I think he smacked you.
Yeah.
Were you expecting that?
I was.
His reputation.
He did that to my buddy Chase at trials a few weeks before. I knew if I was going to upkick him, he was going to hit me in the face.
Is that your buddy, the guy that he dapped up a little bit? Oh, yeah. Shit. Are you serious?
I've been fighting him since we were like orange belts.
Oh, man. That
unknown caller.
Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. I didn't know my phone's on Bluetooth. Dang,
oh, my God.
What a guy. Sorry,
I can't
guys.
produce if I don't know that.
Quiet yourself, Andrew. When that match went down, like Andy's just one of those guys. If you club his head, he's going to smack you. Like, he's
yeah.
always going to do whatever you do, he's going to do it harder. And if you don't do anything, he's still going to hit you once.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't remember you getting overly aggressive, and he just kind of cracked you, man.
Yeah. Sorry, what'd you say? It froze for a second.
Oh, what I said was Andy's just the kind of guy that, like, if you try to get rough with him, he's going to crack you. Like, he's going to go hard. And I don't remember in your match, I don't remember you doing anything in particular to get him to react that way. Was there something you did that he was reacting to?
It was the up kick. So I came in and I pushed him off with my leg. That's what he did.
He didn't want you to push him.
Yeah, he did that. There's that same thing with at trials. He kicked him and then he smacked him in the face.
Man,
so I wanted to do.
Damn.
Jeez.
Just can't do nothing against him.
But it didn't rattle you.
Nah.
He's like, oh man,
it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah. I like getting kicked in the face. I like getting slapped in the face and clubbed.
But I mean, along with your most challenging match, was that also the most fun match that you had, or did you have one that you really enjoyed that night or that week?
Ooh, they're all really fun matches. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think that probably was one of my more fun matches. You know, I've always liked those like real hard, challenging matches, and that was probably the most challenging match of the week.
Well, and you almost won.
Like, yeah,
so close.
I mean, you were on his back,
and
if who knows what happens if there's unlimited time, right? But based on the escape time, he won. But damn, you know,
yeah,
you were on his back, and he was on your back. I mean, and you started there because of the EBI rules. So who knows if either of you ever gets there in a real match against each other? But it was exciting. From a standpoint of watching it and being there for the week, it was a very exciting finish because it was just wire to wire. Like, you can't ask for a better finish than that.
Yeah, I've been dreaming about that match, bro.
Man, I bet. Do you feel like you need to get that one back?
Yeah, I do. I want to go.
Do you feel like Andy Varela owes you 20 G's?
20 G's?
He's got your 20 grand, dude. He took your 20 grand, man. I mean, going into that, it's got to be a big confidence boost for you. Like, that's got to be a pretty high level, intensive experience where you come out of that better.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to ask you, when you started training, at what point, how old were you when you started training? Were you under 10?
Yeah, I was 9 when I started training.
Okay, so
was it on a cruise?
Yeah, I took a BJJ cruise. Gracie kids.
That'd be kind of sick.
It probably would be. Gracie's used to do those cruises.
Really?
But it was like a strict Gracie cruise.
Yeah.
Like, you got to eat.
Can you imagine being someone who doesn't train trapped on a vessel?
What if you were like the only 10th planet guy on a really strict Gracie Baja cruise?
You wouldn't be coming back.
Oh, you'd die. You'd be like, what am I going to do? They'd make you the director of activities.
Rubber guard all day just to piss them off.
So one of the things I've seen this with my own sons. I've seen it with students over the years that started when they were young. There comes a certain point, especially for boys, when they get, I don't know what the age is. It's different, but it's usually 13, 14, 15, just depends, where they start getting pushed or they start gravitating to the adult class. Which means now they're not training with kids anymore. Like, they're training with men. And some of these men are good and some of them aren't good. And some of them have an attitude that's like, no fucking kid's going to make me their punk. Like, I don't care. I don't care how long you've been training. Like, I'm twice as strong with you and I'm going to go bananas.
Yeah.
Was there any adjustment for you making that jump from kids to adult class?
Well, my original gym, we used to live out in Western Oklahoma, and I did Taekwondo out there. And then we moved out to Central Oklahoma probably about 10 years ago now. But, so we did that. And somebody was running jiu-jitsu classes out of their barn in their backyard, like half a mile from our house.
It's like the most Oklahoma thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it is, man.
Yeah. So, my mom ended up putting me in jiu-jitsu. So, yeah, we did. It was like me, my 2 little brothers, and then like 2 other kids in the kids classes when I started. And I was the oldest one. So after about like 2 months, I was doing like the kids and the adult classes.
Yeah.
But they weren't really like doing any classes. I think they were just doing rounds in the adult class with like 2 other blue belts. So yeah, I did that. So I've been doing adult class since about 2 months in.
Wow.
So then, like after my first tournament, about a year after that, so the guy that was running classes, he was a purple belt out of another gym, a little north Oklahoma City. And then he started like picking me up and taking me to classes Tuesday, Thursdays down in Oklahoma City. I was doing the kids classes and the adult class there. And then I was doing classes like over in Guthrie, like where I live now, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
So you were already training 5 days a week.
Yeah.
You were.
Yeah. I started training I started training every day when I was like 10.
Why?
I don't know. I started homeschool when I was going into first grade. My little brother was going to go into kindergarten. So my mom was like, she would have had to like drive back and forth from town all day, like because the classes, I guess they end at like different times. But so she just started homeschooling us. So I've been homeschooled since I was in first grade. Then so I had nothing to do. I just started jiu-jitsu.
It's like part of your PE thing. You're just like, hey, you go to jiu-jitsu for PE.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of, right? I mean,
yeah, basically.
I was homeschooled from 7th grade to like 11th grade, and then I tested out. There was no jiu-jitsu, dude, in like 1991.
Yeah.
I mean, there was, but it wasn't where I was.
Right.
You know, I would have murdered somebody. I was watching like Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon taped from TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had commercials on the tape and shit. And back then, they wouldn't even show you the whole movie.
Do you know what that means, Jet? That he taped it?
Yeah. Yeah. What's a tape, sir?
Talk to this old guy today. He's talking about tapes.
I know. What a crazy person. What did any of the adults kind of come after you, or were they pretty supportive?
Yeah, most of them just like smashed me for.
Of course, that's how dudes are too. They're like, "Fuck this kid."
Easy
Yeah, so I don't know. I probably some of like the smaller guys I started like beating when I was like probably like 13 or 14.
Did you start feeling like the man?
Keep that Thompson kid away from me.
Did you feel like the man? You're like, you know what?
Yeah.
What's up now?
They're like, I'm going to tell your dad.
Yeah, I think I started competing in adult division. I think I was 13, my first adult division. I did all like the rooster weight blue belt.
This is
Competing against yourself.
This guy's basically another version of Khabib.
Yeah.
Like instead of wrestling bears, they just had him wrestle adult men. They're like, you can fight them, man. It's
Adult
okay.
Oklahoma men. Those are big boys.
His dad put a chain on the guys. He's like, just in case they get crazy, I can yank them. Like Khabib's dad, he put a chain around that bear's neck.
Really?
Yeah. And then he had Khabib literally wrestle. Have you seen these videos?
No.
Yeah.
Khabib, before Khabib was ever in the UFC, he was in a video that went viral when he was like young.
Young.
And his dad has him wrestling a bear. I'm not kidding. A real freaking bear.
Did he choke out the bear?
No, but the bear can do knee taps and single legs and freaking butterfly guard sweeps. The bear's been watching Marcelo Garcia DVDs, dude, because the bear knows how to play all that shit, dude. He's got a BJJ Fanatics DVD like subscription for sure, dude. I'm not kidding, dude. And Khabib's dad has like a chain around this bear's neck that with like a chain link to it that he can like, okay, if the bear gets a little crazy, we can pull him
snatch
off.
him back.
How is Khabib ever going to be afraid of another man if he's been wrestling bears since he was a kid? It's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't seen that video.
Yeah, I haven't seen that video.
I think Andrew's gonna pull.
I'm gonna
it
go
up.
home
I'm
and
looking
watch
for
it.
it right now.
Okay, there
Andrew's
it
gonna
is.
pull it up. That's basically what you've been doing, man.
Yeah.
like you've been fighting dudes since you were a kid.
Yeah.
And it's important because what I see with that is the kids that do jujitsu and they stick through it during that growth phase.
Mhm.
A lot of kids quit when they get kind of bumped into the adult class.
Yeah.
The adults just kind of grind them out, and they're like, dude, I'd rather play fucking Nintendo and like hang out in my room and be a dumb 7th grader, 8th grader, play video games or whatever, right? They don't want to go get beat up by a bunch of dudes. The ones that stick it out, they become impossible to beat.
Yeah.
Because then they become 18, 19, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, and they murder you. Like, they can do all the shit against you. Now they're in their man body, and they've been doing this since they were 8.
Yeah.
You're done, dude. You're done. You're not going to beat them.
I can't imagine it, man. Like, I started jujitsu when I was 31.
Yeah,
And so
right.
I never went through it as a kid. Like, yeah, I can't even imagine. God, could you imagine how good your game would be if all you did was just train against grown dudes all the time? Like,
Okay, here we go. Here's this
That's
video.
it.
This is him right here. Look at this bear, dude.
that's a little. It's like a cub. That's fucking wild.
Look at this guy, though. Look at him.
97. I'm guessing Khabib's 8 or 9 here.
Dude, watch how good the bear's technique is, dude. It's wild. The bear knows how to use underhooks. Look at him. He's framing. Look at this. He wrestled up.
Or did a half guard sweep.
Look at this bear. Look at the dad's got the chain on him, just in case the bear gets crazy.
It's got the overhook. Man, that's wild.
The bear's gonna he's gonna watch. He knee taps him. Look at this.
No,
Low
get the
single. It's getting a little grainy, but look at this dude.
That's the video. It's not even the lag.
Look at the dad. He's like, I got it under. Imagine if you're the mom. You're horrified
Yeah.
that this crazy ass husband you've married
Yeah.
has a bear wrestling your child. Look at this. The bear took his back. He dragged him, took the back. And look at Khabib wrestled up.
Yeah.
Look at this.
That's freaking wild. I've never seen this video, man.
That's crazy.
This is Khabib as a child, dude. It's like, oh, he's different. Yeah, he's different.
This is why they're beating us.
This is why, yes. We need bears,
We
damn
need
it.
bears, man.
Yeah.
Look at
Bears
this, dude.
Oklahoma.
I was wrestling a stuffed animal. It didn't fight back. I was doing WWE moves on it. You know what I mean? Not what you're thinking, Andrew. Clear your head up. So, Jett, I got a question for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Craig Jones Invitational. How enticing is that for a 17-year-old American Oklahoma boy right there?
Bro. Dude, that is very enticing. I'm like crossing my fingers, you know.
Have you reached out to him, or has he reached out to you? Have you heard anything?
No, I haven't reached out to him personally, but I know there's like 30 people texting me saying they've reached out to him for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, it's a big deal. That's a lot of money. 10 grand a show, $1 million to win. Like, that's significant.
crazy money.
That's significant.
Yeah.
What would you do, man? If you're let's say you were invited to ADCC and then Craig goes, hey, Jolly-O, mate, like, I want to give you a bag of money
Not Australia.
and give you a chance to win the sack. Have some Vegemite. What would you do,
Vegemite.
man?
Bro, I'd probably have to go with the Craig Jones.
You'd have to.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Let me ask you
that
this.
was a lot of money. to show
Are
up.
you going to ADCC this year?
Yeah, I got tickets and I'm in for the Kids Worlds deal.
The Kids Worlds?
Yeah.
How can you be fighting kids, dude? Wait a minute. You just fought Eddie Varela, Jet.
He's trying to recreate that video.
No.
we just watched.
This is wrong. This is not right. You're going to hurt somebody.
It's like that scene from Star Wars when
oh, he's going
when
to
he kills
Kids
all the
World.
kids.
It's the video we just watched, but he's the bear.
Yeah,
You know what?
yeah.
You are a monster, dude. Can you imagine if you're some kid and you're like, oh, who'd I got? Oh, Jett Thompson.
Why do I recognize that name?
They're looking you up on the internet and they're like, oh, he's fighting all these men.
Oh, I'm fucked.
Fuck, what am I going to do? Tell me about this. What is that? What does that mean?
So I don't know. Like this is like my last time I'm able to do it. So I'm looking really excited for this one.
You're really excited. You're an animal, dude. Are you gonna break somebody's? Can you leg lock? Can you Aoki lock?
You can't Aoki. You can do like ankle locks though.
Do you have a good ankle lock?
I got a good ankle lock.
By the way, I don't know if your old man said this, but my old man said this growing up. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
So
I was a little disappointed because like a lot of the kids I like grew up like I fought a bunch and I know they're really good are like a year older than me, so they're too old to do the kids worlds because they're 18 this year. But yeah.
how many Jett Thompsons are there though? Like how many other kids are out there that are 17 that
there's more than you would think.
Yeah.
I would say there's like I'm probably like one of the better like kids, but Michael Sains, he's really good. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a kid from Miami. He's beat me a few times now.
Michael Sains?
Yeah, then like Achilles Hocha, you know.
Oh yeah, he's good.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, they're all really good. And then there's like a bunch of kids doing like the IJJF stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It seems like all the kids gravitate towards like art of jiu-jitsu or particular places like that where they kind of have these big youth sports programs. I think I don't know this for sure, but I'm speculating that a lot of the successful schools now are more or less recruiting talent to come train for them. Has anyone tried to recruit you?
No one's tried to recruit me.
Are you recruitable? Like, what if I was like, Jett Thompson, what's it gonna take to get you to Nashville? Like, you have a price? Like, you have a range you're working with? Are you out there? Like trying to cut deals? You need an agent or what do you look at this guy? He's like, yeah, this sounds good.
Hey Jett, I won't buy you beer for the next 4 years.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really thought about that. I don't know. Maybe I'm still 17, but I'll be 18 next year. So.
Yeah, well, you don't got much time. You got a tiny bit of time.
Yeah.
But, you know, what's going to happen is the more success you have, obviously, the more eyeballs you're going to get on you. And the more eyeballs that you get on you, the more people are going to they're going to want you.
Yeah.
That's just the way it works. That's how the game works, you know.
Especially being 17 and a brown belt, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's
You're
wild.
going to probably be getting some phone calls, buddy.
So, I mean, is this like a life goal for you, just jiu-jitsu? Or, I mean, you're 17, you know, I'm sure there's like, I don't know if you're thinking about colleges or.
No.
It's like, no.
Yeah. I'm just going to stick to this.
Good call. You'll never pay it back.
I ain't going to none of them liberal schools. What are you talking about?
I hear you. I hear you. He's homeschooled, so he knows correctly.
I mean, I think that's great. That's what I would have done if I was 17. I would have just done jiu-jitsu forever.
I mean, is that the plan for now?
Yeah, it's the plan. Just jiu-jitsu, man.
How are your parents on board with that?
Oh yeah. They've been on board with that since I was like, I don't know, since I started talking about it constantly.
I mean,
like 13, 14.
Yeah, and for real, like I talked to Jett's dad in Vegas at PGF, and he said after the first time Jett competed, that was it. He was just like hooked.
Yeah.
And as a parent, if your kid actually finds something that they stick to, most of the time your problem is your kids don't stick to anything. They're like, I want to play clarinet now. You're like, what the fuck? I want to break dance. I want to scam. It's just like one
Is that
thing.
all the stuff you did?
I didn't do any of that because we were broke. My parents were like, you could watch. My parents literally let me go with my cousins, and I watched their martial arts class.
Dude,
Yeah, they're like, you could go watch karate. I would just sit on the
The
side
only
and like
thing
watch.
worse than playing clarinet is going to watch
Watch.
somebody.
I was
play
a astute observer of all these different things.
nerd.
Yeah, you could watch them practice.
Power to your parents for being that supportive, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's not very common.
It helped a lot.
Yeah.
My dad never told me not to play drums, but if I talked about it for too long, he'd be like, dude, shut up.
Yeah. You're like, we don't want to hear it. Does your dad train?
Yeah, he trains a little bit. He doesn't train as much anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's both my parents are actually no, my mom's a brown belt now. But,
Oh, good for her.
Shit.
That's awesome. That's not nothing. That's awesome.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Dang, casual. He's like casually. We're all like real high level jiu-jitsu people. What about your brothers or your siblings? You said you had some younger siblings. Are they training?
Yeah, so I have 5 little brothers and a little sister.
Oh my God, there's an army of
There's
you
a
guys.
whole bunch of them.
What?
Yeah,
I wish I was an agent. I'd sign the whole family right now. I'd be like, I'm gonna get them when they're cheap.
It's the Oklahoma dynasty.
That's outstanding. So you guys all train?
yeah, for the like all of them that are old enough do.
Yeah.
The one like next oldest to me, he trains. The one below that, he doesn't train. Then everybody else that's like old enough trains.
Yeah.
In like 20 years, it's going to be Gracie's, Thompson.
Do the ones that don't train mind their manners when they're in the house with everybody else?
No, but you should.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, if your mom is a brown belt, like she's gonna put you in check.
Yeah,
dude.
bro.
Yeah.
If my mom was a brown belt, she would have broken my arms probably. She would have heel hooked me for sure.
You're an older brother and a brown belt, and you got a brother that doesn't train. And if he talks shit, I have to just look at him and be like,
Jesus.
"Are you sure you want to come in this room right now?"
Wow.
I said I get the TV for another hour.
That's outstanding.
That's sweet.
It's crazy.
I mean, this is the modern. This is how you know jiu-jitsu is really popular.
Yeah.
Is you meet people now who are like, my mom's a brown belt.
Yeah.
Your mom's got to grab a minivan, not for soccer, but to go to the gym with everybody.
Yeah, right. Yeah, your mom knows how to like tape her hands up properly for the, and tape her ankle. She has cauliflower ear. She can drain a cauliflower
Yeah,
ear,
she could drain it. Oh, that would be great.
Back in the day, what was it? It was like your mom did aerobics or something.
Yeah.
Your mom sold Tupperware. She went to Weight Watchers.
Yeah.
Like moms didn't do it. They didn't fight. There were no moms boxing.
No.
She's sneaking screwdrivers in like a Florida orange juice bottle to the baseball
right.
game.
Wow.
Right. Your mom cheats at bingo night or something. You know what I mean? Like it was never like your mom's going to jujitsu.
Your dad says backgammon with the boys, but it's Hooters.
Yeah.
And beer.
Right. So what's coming up next for you, dude?
I got ADCC Dallas and doing the Zapatero qualifier in Denver.
So
Yeah,
Zapatero's got some money on the line there, man.
Yeah, bro, I'm excited for that. I looked at my division for ADCC Dallas last night, and Dante Leon signed up for my division.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Nice.
dude,
It's coming after you, dude.
I know. I was shocked when I saw that. I'm like, oh man, I gotta fight this guy now. But
I mean, how good is that experience to fight these guys?
dude, it's great. I'm actually tomorrow morning. I'm flying out to Toledo. They wanted me out to train with them.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna be out there next week.
Are you fighting in the gi and no gi, or are you just doing one or the other?
I gave up the gi like last year.
He's like, there ain't no money in the gi. I like Jett Thompson is like, he's on it, dude.
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah.
He's like, there's no money in the uniform. Nobody cares about the.
The last gi tournament I did was like last March.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took second at the AJP at Purple Belt.
You're like, forget this. This is noise.
Yeah.
The gi's hard, man. The gi is a weapon. And some people are really crafty and they can negate a lot of grappling with the jacket and the pants. It's like you can't get your game off the same way at all.
Yeah, for sure. It's so much. It's a lot different. It's I feel like it's a lot less motion.
It's more staticky. Like a transition in no gi that would take 2 seconds. In the gi, it could take 15 seconds because it's like sticky grips and you're doing all this dumb shit. And if you don't know all the intricate little grip breaks and details, then it's like,
damn.
Yeah. The thing that like really like pushed me away from it was like you can't get into a crazy scramble in gi. I feel like if they don't want to do it with you, because they can just grab you and then like sit to like a half guard or a closed guard or something.
Yeah.
They no gi, you're gonna like slip out of that, and just start doing some stuff. Jump on the back.
Nogi's like the Wild West.
Yeah.
You could literally have guys in no-gi that just like bust out of shit because they're stronger than you or they're fast. Oh, it's so frustrating. It's like, what the heck, dude?
Lift more, bro.
Blast out.
I always wondered if I should just go to a gi at some point. I've never trained.
I don't
in a
think
gi.
you should.
Yeah.
No, not now.
It's not worth it.
It's just you got to learn a lot of bullshit just for the gi.
Just for the gi.
That's not grappling based. It's not like
The only I do gi like a few times a month when I'm in Dallas. There's like gi pro training I go to, and like I know like I'm better at gi than like most people, like blue, purple, brown belts, but like that that pro training down there is like adult IJJF black belts in the gi.
yeah.
They kill me with the spider lasso stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
I love those.
I feel like there's no equivalent to that in no gi.
no, you don't get the
It goes
same look.
like a De La Riva or something. Like I know what I'm doing because that's like an Ogi guard too. But that's the spider lasso. I feel like is the hardest for a no-gi player to deal with in the gi.
Yeah, that like worm, anything that's super gi specific. Even De La Riva gets a little janky. Like the gi version of De La Riva is much trickier to deal with than the no gi version.
You can keep it.
Yeah,
You can hold it.
it's the grips.
Mm-hmm.
It's the stickiness of the grips.
Mm.
It's the jacket. And if you look at the damn jacket, it's a belt stitched in to the material. That's what the lapel is. It's literally a belt. It's the same thing as the belt you tie around your waist.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you drape it around your neck.
But the pant grips are the worst too.
Yeah.
You get that pocket grip on the end of your pants. It's so hard to get off.
You can't clear it.
Nasty bow and arrows that way.
You have to You have to get good at reaching down with your hands and breaking the grips. You can't just like kick your leg out.
Mm.
Yeah.
You're not dealing with the same connection.
And
it's different.
that gets ingrained in you so hard that we've talked about this before on and off the show. Is you can tell immediately if somebody in no-gi has trained gi before because of how aggressively they'll take care of grips and how quickly.
Yeah, I find that when you train with guys who have practiced in the gi, they are more willing to grip fight you for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Where no-gi guys are just like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. And they'll like jump in. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, see what happens.
Yeah.
Slightly different.
Do you have anything real big that you want to accomplish right before you're 18, jiu-jitsu wise? Because I know you mentioned that this tournament coming up for you, one of these several, is going to be the last time you can compete in this one specifically, in the bracket you're in. Is there anything else like that you're shooting for before 18?
Yeah, that'd be like a really cool like kids tournament. Is I really haven't done a kids division since I was green belt. The Pan Kids, I think it was Pan Kids 2022. That was my last kids division. Then so this would be like the last time I'd be able to do a kids division. But that'd be a great way to end off like my like kids juvenile career. But I'm hoping I can do really good at the Zapatero in December.
Yeah, so that has a series of qualifiers, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then the final event in December. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the grand prize there is 100 grand.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's perfect weight for me too, because it's like I was definitely underweight at the PGF.
Yeah,
because I came in at like right at 170. I didn't have to cut weight at all or anything. But I know a lot of those guys were definitely cutting. Like I was. Oh yeah. Like it was me and probably like 3, maybe 4 other people that weren't cutting.
Like you and Mike John didn't cut weight. Everyone else did. Yeah.
Yeah. So that Zapatero will be good for me because it's like a 10-pound cut. So it's not a whole lot, but it's like enough, to have like a good advantage.
I know you mentioned ADCC, and I know we talked about the Craig Jones Invitational, but outside of those two things, you've done PGF. Are there any other no-gi events that you're really looking forward to in your mind? You say like, man, I'd really like to compete at Polaris or EBI or Combat Jiu-Jitsu or
any of those would be awesome. I'm hoping to get on like the Who's Number One or the UFC Fight Pass invitation cards. That like either of those would be awesome. I'm hoping. So the guy that won the first match at the last Who's Number One in Arlington actually called me out. So
nice.
I'm gonna be able to get him in.
Well, you know what you do when someone calls you out? You go online immediately and you start talking shit, man.
That's the trick.
Haven't you learned anything from Gordon Ryan? Like you got to get on it, dude. You got to be all over it immediately.
Maybe.
Man, it's great talking to you, dude. I really enjoyed watching you do jiu-jitsu. I think there's something that's really cool about watching people do jiu-jitsu when there's no hesitation in their game.
Yeah.
You're not rushing, but you just weren't hesitating. And it's hard to find that in guys because as soon as guys have something to lose, like they get a little bit of a reputation or they got some big wins, and then it's like, then sometimes that hesitation creeps into their game just a tiny, tiny bit. And eventually you'll come up against somebody who doesn't have that hesitation, and they'll get ahead. They'll beat you.
Yeah,
They'll beat you in timing, and it's like I watched you do that over and over again. Not that, your technique isn't clean and crisp. It's just you just don't wait.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, man, we're swimming, dude. Like, let's
sure.
get in the water. Whatever happens is going to happen.
It's definitely a skill to be able to stay calm on those kinds of stages, like the PGF, ADCC, like these big like stages. It's definitely something you have to learn is just to like stay calm and play like you normally want to do your jiu-jitsu and know like that this other guy might or may not be that same way.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. That's true. Man, how can people find you online, dude? What's the best way for fans to get a hold of you or follow you?
My Instagram at Jett Thompson BJJ.
And you're doing Dallas. When is Dallas?
I think it's June 16th.
So if you're out in that neck of the woods, make sure you stop by and say what's up to Jett. That's going to be your last tournament as a juvenile.
Oh, no, not that
I'm
one.
sorry.
The-
That's Zapatero.
Yeah, no, the Kids Worlds is my last juvenile tournament.
And when is that?
That's like 2 days before ADCC Worlds.
Oh,
So they're having it in like the same venue and stuff.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I got it. So that's going to be in August.
Yeah.
So he's going to be sending some kids to the hospital.
Yeah.
ADCC Dallas, by the way, is June 15th of Saturday.
Gotcha. That's what you're doing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Well, dude, I think you got a great future ahead of you. Thanks for coming on. It's a pleasure talking to you, man. I talk so much shit about you leading up to PGF, but in a funny, humorous way, because you were the only kid on the card, and it just seems so funny to me to have a 17-year-old out in Las Vegas. I'm like, this kid literally has to
what's he gonna do?
He got to go with his mom and dad. His
You're
dad's got to sign the waiver.
In anywhere.
Yeah, you can't even go to the buffet.
He's not even allowed in the hotel.
Yeah. So I just was really intrigued with it. I think you composed yourself very well. You got a really bright future ahead of you, and we'd love to have you back on again sometime, man.
For sure, man. I'd love to.
Thanks, Jett Thompson. Have a great one, man. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah,
Later, man.
All right, thanks, brother. Man, what a good dude. It's 17. I was so freaking stupid.
I couldn't talk like that. I
17?
couldn't talk like
I
that.
for sure couldn't fight a man.
Yeah.
Gee, are you kidding?
I don't think much has changed since you were 17.
Dude, you know what? I'm going to heel hook you. I'm
You're
going to
not.
You should
Jett
Aoki
Thompson
lock him.
Aoki lock you.
Yeah,
You're
just
not going to do
I'm going to have
goddamn
Jett
thing.
send me a private message with the secrets of how to get the Aoki lock.
Yeah.
And I'm going to break you off.
I'm
dude.
going to message him right after that and say, like, hey, man, how do I defend the
He
Aoki
doesn't
lock?
like people that look like ghosts.
You don't know that. We didn't ask him.
Okay? He's like, who's the guy with the weird? I don't know.
the transparent guy over there.
Who's the guy with looks clammy?
I'm going to report you both to StreamYard for bullying.
You've been looking down at a toaster. Is it done? Is it done? Is it done? It's just like
What does
clammed
that
you up.
fucking mean?
That clammed you up, made you all clammed out.
I'm confused.
Like you're clammed up, dude. Look, just look. I really enjoy doing the show with you, Andrew.
Yeah, you say that.
Shut up.
Anyway,
turn his mic off.
I'll turn my own mic off because I'm a little fucking bored. So I have developed what I hope will be a fun new segment.
Okay, let's see it.
So I thought of something to do for around about the end of the show, just to kind of leave off on something fun that people can participate in.
I'm down.
And it's called Ask a Black Belch.
Okay.
Right. So I have gathered through a couple different sources, either come up with my own dumb shit, found dumb shit that other people have asked, or I've asked ChatGPT to get involved.
Okay. Oh, ChatGPT's involved. Oh,
so you're a black belch.
Okay.
And these are some questions I'm going to say the white belches have been asking.
Oh, so the white belts have been asking these questions.
A lot of them are white belch questions. But
Okay,
some other
okay.
belches can be, and it could just be general. Just any belch could ask a question.
Are these like martial artsy questions or life questions?
They can be.
Economics questions.
This is kind of
Economics?
This is
How do I make the proper tomato bisque soup?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, that's a purple belt
Yeah.
belch question.
Sorry about
that's
that.
my Portuguese accent coming out.
All right.
Black Belch, how do you convince the significant other that BJJ tonight is more important than date night? Or how do you make up for making the decision you know you're going to make?
So what you have to do is, first of all, you're never going to convince your significant other that BJJ night is more important. Okay, that's a
about
mistake.
that.
That's
So
don't
right
even
out
try.
right out of the gate.
Don't try to do that. That's a rookie move.
That's a white belch move.
Don't try to convince her how important it is that you do it. What
You just do it.
you just do it. You just do it.
You just
Like,
go?
Well, what you do. This is what you do. You tell her everything she wants to hear. Right?
How's that any
Like
different?
you're like, baby, I want to spend time with you. Date night is like the most important thing to me. It's the highest priority.
Sure.
You tell her all that, and then you go to jujitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you come back and you're
What
like,
am I going to do?
let's have date
Not-
night.
Not learn to protect you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
What if we get accosted on
listen,
a date?
I know it's 2024, but I'm telling you, women, they don't like dudes that can't fight.
Yeah.
It's not attractive.
No, I
I'm
think
not
you're right.
attracted to men that can't fight either, to be honest with you. Like,
What about the alternative? What if they can fight?
yeah, then we could at least
We'll
hang
talk.
out.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about it date night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
I think there's something primal about it, right? Like,
listen,
As we drift closer to the abyss in this country, too.
Yeah.
there's
that.
something that is respectable about a person who says, hey, I'm going to do this, and this is really hard, and I'm not going to quit doing it because you think I'm giving too much time to it.
yeah.
And I know that sounds kind of fucked up in a way,
Mm-hmm.
but what I mean is if everything you start, you let someone persuade you to stop, then they're like, you don't finish anything. you
Man, that
start.
is so true.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a test, too. Like, let's see just how far I can walk all over this person.
It
Some
doesn't.
people are like that.
It doesn't mean that if you become consumed by it, then there will be ramifications. Like
Yeah.
that's just life, dude.
Yeah.
What do you want? But if you're like, hey man, I go on this night or I go on these 2 nights, I go at these times, and you could be flexible. That's what I did. I trained at odd times and figured shit out and worked around life the best I could. But
Well, you were the reason the whole
always
family got
trained.
involved, too, right?
yeah,
Eventually?
I knew early on that I had to get my boys involved. I wanted to. Like, one is like I wanted them to learn. Thought it was an important thing, and 2 is I realized this is a valuable way for me to spend time with my kids.
Yeah.
And then like, how does your wife get mad at that? Oh, you're spending
Yeah.
time with the boys again?
Yeah.
And I wasn't too much of a dad that was like, let's go fishing. I'm gonna teach you how to hunt, Johnny, or let me show you how to fix a carburetor. Like, I don't fucking know. My dad ran everything into the ground. We didn't fix nothing. We just had old shit and went without, and then he would just get a car and like drive it forever and then just trash it.
Yeah.
Like, it was never like, we got to change spark plugs. Like,
Yeah.
what? I don't know how to do none
Fuck's
of
a
that.
spark plug.
Yeah, but I taught him how to fight and do jujitsu and wrestle, and that's fun.
Yeah.
That's a good skill.
Change my spark plugs or I'll kill you.
I could learn how to. I could pay someone to change my spark plugs
Yeah.
for less than I could pay someone to fight for me.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
So-
Good point.
Yeah.
Black Belch, why doesn't my boss care about the new armbar I learned?
Here's the cold hard reality: nobody cares about the new armbar. Like, not even your training partners really care. Unless the only time people are interested in the moves you're doing is if it's something they think they could take and do themselves.
Yeah.
If they don't think they could do it, they're just like, okay, cool.
I don't need that.
Watching somebody show you a new move they did or invented is like hearing someone tell you about their dream. It's like, it's
man.
not interesting,
It's a
man.
good point.
It's like, okay, oh, then you did that. Then you put your hip there. Oh, but then you go there, but everyone else goes there.
Dude,
Oh,
that is super, super close to what it actually is.
have you ever done one fucking thing anyone ever showed you like that?
No.
And I've also
Never.
felt like that about almost every dream someone's told me about.
I have listened to my kids.
Like, especially if I'm not in it, because that could be interesting. Like if I was in it,
then
why?
I want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what was I up to?
If there's something in it for me,
Yeah.
you're showing me a sub that's something I do.
Yeah.
This is gonna make me better. I'm heavily invested now.
Right.
Some bullshit front headlock thing. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't care.
You've seen my game, and you're like, hey man, I just saw something, or I know something that you might want to put this here. It's like,
Then I
oh
wanna know.
shit, game changer.
I dreamed about your kid. You're like, what?
What happened? Is
Yeah.
you okay?
Yeah, your wife was in my dream. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were in my dream. What?
Yeah.
But it's like,
Not
hey
that
man,
you like. I went to Oz and I saw gumdrops. I'm like, shut the fuck
I had
up.
this crazy dream last night, dude. I have listened to
Hard pass.
probably hours of my kids telling me the dreams they had as I drive them to school.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah. And then the guy from Adventure Time was there, Dad. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
Grandma Sheila was in the dream. I'm like, yeah. And then there was like leprechauns. Did you remember that sandwich we ate? It's just like,
Yeah,
okay.
you're going 60 through a school zone.
I'm just like, dude.
We gotta fucking get there.
I'm just like, I got a headache, man. Like, your mom is really riding my ass right now, son. Nobody cares. I'm sorry.
Black Belch, we demand the truth about the secret to getting a blue belt. Is it washing your car? Is it
Well,
dog sitting? Is it, because it's clearly not anything to do with jiu-jitsu.
there's nothing worse than the guy that tries to like brown nose his way to blue belt. That's
Yeah.
like the lowest of the accolades, and you're gonna already go there. Like you're already gonna get your nose dirty for it. Like,
Yeah, for something that is, for all intents and purposes, still a fairly beginner belt.
I mean, the blue belt is like, this is how you get the blue belt. You get good enough that you make the other white belts feel bad, and then they're like, oh, this guy's like, if he's still a white belt, then what are the regular white belts? Like
Yeah.
a piece of garbage.
Worthless.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what you are.
That's your job.
That's
and then
what
they're
you
like,
are.
oh, it's time to move them forward because now it's not fair anymore to the other white belts.
So as soon as they get close to considering seppuku, that's when the other guy gets promoted.
Yes.
It's a
Yeah. It's
a
not
group
about you. It's
exercise.
about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You getting your blue belt is because I don't want them to feel bad anymore because you're fucking them up.
I might lose this new batch permanently
Yes.
because you're being an asshole.
It's like, oh, shit, we got to bump this guy up.
damn it.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
And a bonus, Black Belch. This is not ChatGPT. This is not me making shit up. This one I actually
Yeah,
I have
okay, right.
summarized, but I have seen
Something
this.
he wants to personally know.
Yeah.
Like, what's your bank pin?
No. I saw someone pretty much ask this.
Okay.
Can I wear my belt from a different martial arts to my BJJ class because I'm a higher belt in that martial art?
I mean, man, you can, but
I mean, free country. But
you know, the gi side of the family is very, very, very uptight. And
Yeah.
they're not like the no-gi side. The no-gi side's a little more like you come in, you kind of wear whatever. Oh, he's got a
Yeah.
ranked rash guard. It's not as ranked. Nobody's really paying attention that much.
mm-hmm.
He's got sweats on. He's got a T-shirt. He's got a surf rash guard. He's got a tank. It's
or
like
Rashi from a different organization.
nobody
entirely.
cares.
Nobody
Yeah.
gives a shit.
No, but you show up to jiu-jitsu with your fucking brown taekwondo belt, and there's going to be a problem. Like, there's going to be a problem, and if you're a white belt, and I think it's only a white belt move. Like, if you're a blue belt and then you do that, you're going to get
You
like,
need therapy.
You're going to get voted off the island.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to
hey,
get dojo stormed in your own
I
dojo.
think
Yeah.
something's wrong with Jim.
Yeah, but that's a white belt move. I have seen guys do that.
Really?
Heavily frowned on. And I've also seen guys be black belts in other arts and then take pictures with their jiu-jitsu class with their
With a
other
black belt.
art belt on.
Just they swap it just for the pick.
I had no, I don't know. I actually don't know the
Okay.
answer to that. I had someone ask me who was from another martial art if he could wear his black belt to class, and I told him like, no,
Yeah.
you
Are
can't.
you a black belt
Are
in
you
the
fucking
class
out of
you're
your
taking?
mind? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the gi world is serious. Even a little bit. Like when I was running a school in Stockton that was half gi, half no gi, and Phil Baroni came in and started training there a few times through my cousin, and he was like a blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he's not a good fighter. I'm not saying he wasn't a good wrestler, but just his straight jiu-jitsu was just like he was a blue belt.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. That's not on me. That's on him. I'm not responsible for your experience or development.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for mine and my students. You showed up.
Yeah.
So, we lined up by rank because that's what we were used to doing. It was lining up by rank, and he consistently was lining up as if he was like a black belt or a brown belt. And then other people in the class got their feathers ruffled, and they're like, yo, what rank?
This guy?
What is this guy's rank? Like, So I asked him,
Fucking dark blue? What is this?
what's your jiu-jitsu rank, dog? It's like blue belt. I'm like, okay, well, like, and I said this was privately. I wasn't trying to humiliate him. I was like, the blue belts line up.
Yeah, the
over
next
there.
time you line up, you're like, hey, fucko.
Well, that's what happened.
Oh, shit.
Next class came, and he lined back up in the front. And I'm
shit.
like, hey, man, you got to line. And then I had to tell him, like, hey, you got to line up where you're supposed to line up.
Yeah.
And he got really upset at that. But I told him, like, if we were in MMA class, then I would be in the back of the line. And
Yeah.
you'd be up here, the guy. But we're not. We're in jiu-jitsu class, and I'm just going by ranks. If somebody ranked you higher, then line up higher. If someone gave you a black belt, then line up here. I don't give a fuck. But if they didn't, then don't.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're doing. We're doing this format. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
He didn't like it. Then he did not like me after that. He had Mark Coleman. He asked Mark Coleman a question on Twitter about what is my Hammer House ranking? What is Hammer House is like? Just Mark Coleman's amazing dude. He's awesome. He's a legend, right?
Yeah.
Mark's like, he's a Hammer House black belt. It's like, but you told me you were a blue belt.
Yeah.
That's what he told me. He didn't say I'm a black belt. So I'm like, why did you go to Twitter and like reference me there? Like,
Yeah. That's fucking weird.
you're gonna appeal to Mark Coleman? Like, oh, Mark said it, so it's like, if Phil Baroni's already a badass fighter. Like, it's like, what do you want to do, man? Anyway, jiu-jitsu guys don't like that. I think it's a terrible idea to wear your martial arts ranking to class.
Yeah.
Just wear your jiu-jitsu belt.
Yeah. That's it.
Even if it's white.
Whatever it is.
Simple.
Don't get in the program if you're not going to go with the program. This is what I don't understand about people who sign up for shit, like a gi program that's a little more traditional, and then they have all the take umbrage with this and that, and it's like, why are you fucking paying to do it then? Go do something
Nobody's
else.
forcing you to be here.
Not one person, man. Like, you came in here, you signed up for it, and now you're mad about it, and you want changes.
I think you get, people get in here and get ruffled about that because they feel like, I'm starting at the bottom of a shit pile. But that's part of what makes it really cool because you earn your way up. Also, I think it was Tim Kennedy who talked about this. Could be somebody else, but he's like, dude, if you walk in and get a white belt, you're already in a fraction of 1% of people in the world.
Yeah, really.
Even if you're a white belt that trains for a year and never gets promoted, you're already like past a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, man.
So feel good about that and then keep working.
The mentality that's going on now in grappling is very much like everybody is critical of the people that are higher ranked than them or that are teaching or that have any kind of position of anything. There's a lot of critical eye being cast at them. Like, why do they do this? Warm-ups are dumb, or this is dumb, or that's dumb, or this guy did this. Or I'm not trying to say it's like the time. I don't know what it is, but it wasn't exactly like that. It used to be like, when you start, you're going to suck.
Yeah.
And that's part of the game is it sucks and you suck and you're not going to win.
Yeah.
Like, so get that shit out of your head. You're not going to win. You're not going to figure out some clever way to beat a guy that's been doing this for 10 years. Like, he's going to fucking tool you.
Right.
And it's going to hurt and he's going to fuck you up. And he might be nice to you once in a while, but most of the time he's going to whoop your ass. And that's how it is, because eventually you want to get to that level.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, he was so rough, and he tapped me 4 times in a 5-minute round. I didn't learn anything, or he he made us do this at the warm up, and it's like, oh, you've been doing this for 8 months, dude. Like,
I think it's. Do you think it's probably like partially because, like, jiu-jitsu has just been opened up to so many people?
So many
Back in the day,
people.
like, jiu-jitsu was for really tough fucking guys.
it was like for
dude.
fucking nut jobs.
Yeah. It was for people that like
had something wrong with them.
were just below like, I'm ready to join a fight club. Like,
Yeah. It was for troubled people.
Yeah.
People that either had crazy aggressive trouble in their head and they
Yeah.
were like, or people that were just kind of troubled and were like, I need to do something really fucking odd,
Right.
and extreme.
Right.
I personally think
It's
it was.
either jiu-jitsu or post office with a pickaxe.
I mean,
Yeah.
all the guys that when I started training in 2005, and there was a crop of guys that were already purple belts in 2005. So they had
Damn.
been training since maybe 99.
Yeah.
They were all troubled.
Oh,
Every
really?
one of them had something. When you got to know them, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
There was no regular. I was the regular guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You were the
I
one
was
working
like,
an office
oh,
job
fuck.
somewhere.
Yes, dude.
By the way, and even then, but because I know you a little bit, you were the regular guy, and you grew up in a cult.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
I had trouble.
Yeah.
I was coming with trouble.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a cop, and I
Right.
wasn't a felon, and I didn't fight in high school. I didn't wrestle. I just
Yeah.
was like, I don't know.
Not covered in tattoos back then.
No, not at
But
all.
it meant something.
Yeah. I don't even think it meant something then. I think it had already. Do you remember when, like, there was this big, like, No Fear? Remember the brand No Fear
Yeah.
was real popular?
Vaguely, yeah.
Dudes got, like, No Fear tattoos
Yeah, they did.
on them.
I've seen
and
affliction tattoos online.
It's just like, dude. Way back then, it's like, this is jumping. Yeah, the game, the community's different now.
Yeah.
People are different in general, but the jiu-jitsu world is, there's a lot of tough guys, and there's a lot of great. I'm not saying that jiu-jitsu is like there's worse talent. There's not.
No.
They're way better.
Yeah.
It's more advanced and developed. But along with the
There's a lot more
popularity,
hobbyists.
there's way more people that are just not, but they're not willing to give it up.
Right.
So what they want is they want the prestige of being like, I'm a high level belt or I'm an expert,
Sure.
but they don't necessarily want to go through the path.
Yeah.
They think, oh, that path is for barbarians. There's another more enlightened intellectual path that I could take that's based on John Danaher DVDs and ecological drills. I don't mean that as a knock on it, but it's like, no, dude, you have to fucking fight.
Yeah.
All that shit leads, like, all the ecological shit.
Yeah.
It's hard as fuck.
Yeah. It's hard as
You're
fuck.
fighting someone the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time. And all those Danaher dudes, you think they're not beating the shit out of each other in practice?
Dude, you have to.
They're going at it. They're
Yeah.
going
There's
after
no
it.
easy. There's no light.
No.
Jiu-jitsu light.
No.
Way to learn it. They're just, and I honestly don't even want there to be like.
Fuck no.
Like-
I'm all for barbarism when it comes to this.
This shit, these are the moves work, and if somebody's stronger than you, then they can negate some of the moves.
Yeah.
And that's life, dude. That's
Yeah.
anatomy, that's physiology. And if they know what you know and they're stronger than you,
Oof.
then you're going to lose, man.
Yeah.
That's the game. Like, that's how it works. It works that way in professional sports. It works that way everywhere.
Works that
That's
way in
what's up.
life. Sometimes
But that's how
there's
you get
nothing,
better. I mean, if there was no challenge, if there was no mountain to
Yeah,
climb,
absolutely.
then how are you gonna?
It's
How
just,
are you gonna get better?
I think there's a little bit of of just a weird, like, mental softness.
Do you think it's just a generation of participation trophies that are now adults?
I don't know if it's that or not, because some of those dudes in that same generation aren't wired that way.
Yeah.
But I think it's just there's more people doing it.
Yeah.
you know what we ought to do? As soon as you
Purge.
come in, you get a black belt.
And then we just
Then it's
unleash.
fucking done. If you want to do it, keep coming and get better. You already have the belt. Let's do it.
And we just right in the deep end.
And
You're
then
a
you
black
just-
belt.
And then you can
Yeah.
just train jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hey, man, it's okay. Everybody gets smashed in a while, even black belts.
I charge you $5,000 up front.
You got
No,
a black
Per
belt.
month.
No, 5G one time payment.
Mm-hmm.
After 30 days, I give you your black belt,
Yeah.
and
We
then
make a thing of it.
you don't have to pay again after that.
Yeah, you're done.
But
You're a black
I'm
belt.
treating you like a black belt. No holds barred.
Us.
We're all getting after it.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
means you're getting heel hooked, you're getting neck cranked, you're getting You're getting slammed from triangle. You're getting wrist locked like a motherfucker.
All the lower belts are going extra hard on you.
There are no lower belts.
We're all black belts.
Yeah, we're all
That's
black
the
belts.
thing.
There are
Dude.
30-day
no
guys. There's the month boys.
Those
and
are
there's-
probation black
there's
belts.
BBs. 30-day boys and BBs, all black
BBs.
belts.
Every
Yeah.
year you get a stripe. Everyone's just ranked up. Dude.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I like it.
Any gym
I've been
you
a black
go
belt
to,
for
you're
12.
a black belt. You line up
I'm a
as a
black
black belt.
Wow, man, their purple belts are way better than our black belts.
Yeah.
Happens.
And that's also in the jiu-jitsu world. Like that's also something you hear. You'll hear guys bragging. No one ever brags the other way. It's very rare. But
I think
most
that was
times,
like the first episode that I did with
That's
y'all. I
funny.
think we were talking about that guy who like gave his girlfriend a black
and then
belt
she
so
promoted
that
him.
she could promote him to a black belt.
And then there's the other homeboy that said God promoted me to black belt from blue.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And I asked him, I was like, hey, man, I have an idea.
what's weird is like this idea that he goes, I can't promote myself to black belt. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
But I could promote you, and then you could promote me. Oh, that makes sense.
depending on
Yeah,
how you
that-
feel about it, of course.
That's locked tight. Like airtight.
If I did it myself, it'd be unethical.
But a brown belt can promote you to black belt.
Can they?
Well, that's what he did.
I guess that's true. Oh, he'd have to, yeah.
Yeah. And he also gave himself a brown belt.
This wouldn't happen if we were all black belts.
No,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I love this idea.
It's like, do you want to train or do you want a belt?
We could literally call it
It's
like
fucking 15.
Black Belt Academy,
Yeah.
and every class is called pro training.
There was more black belts in this gym
And it's
I've
just,
ever seen. They must all be going easy on me.
You know
it
what?
feels like they suck.
I bet it would fill up with high level people because they'd be like, this is pro training black belts.
I might be onto something.
They just come in.
We're gonna have to
wreck.
edit this part out.
Dude, that was the magic. That was the magic of improv. I just pulled that out of my ass. I think it's
Yeah.
the best idea I've ever fucking had.
A black belt. Just everyone's a black. After 30 days, we got to charge them 5 Gs.
I think that's going to be the great leveler there. But how much do you want a black belt?
Yeah.
And what is 5Gs really? I mean, let's say monthly dues are an average of 100 to
Yeah.
200 to 250 a month.
Oh, listen, we're gonna have
5 Gs
another
is
company
nothing.
that we contract with,
Yeah.
and you're
You get financed through them.
yes, exactly. You make payments, dude. The company pays us up front.
Right.
We get like
Right.
$4,600.
You know how
right?
people pay for pizzas nowadays in 4
Bro.
payments?
Yeah.
That's
They
how you
put-
get your BB.
That's how you get your BB. Yeah.
What is that? Like people buy shit like that all the time. They
Yeah,
basically
sure.
put
like
the-
Mint or Shop or something like that. You
yeah,
pay
there's a
4
name for it.
installments, yeah.
Yes, you pay like 4 installments or
Right.
whatever. We'll give you like
I got an Airbnb like that.
yeah.
Man, Airbnb seems reasonable to me when you're young, but like I actually, when I'm eating like shit and I order like Domino's or we have a night like that or something,
Yeah.
I say, do you want to do, PayPal? Do you want to use your credit card or do you want to do this in 4 payments? So you have 4 payments of $13.70 every
Right.
Yeah.
for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Pay off your Domino's pizza.
Can you imagine being in
With
like,
interest.
drowning in? Oh yeah, there's interest. Can you imagine drowning in debt from ordering pizza?
Well, can you imagine being 16 years old and your parents not ever really showing you, and you think all this shit's like a fucking video game?
Oh,
You're
it's
like,
all
I'm
just credit.
It's
like,
just all skins and dings and coins, and you're just like, oh yeah, I can do that.
I have a personal friend whose 9-year-old got her credit card
Oh no, I love
fuck.
it.
and Fortnite.
Oh yeah, so she went to the top,
a
had all the
powerful
skins.
combination.
Because I'm familiar with certain levels of, not that I've done it, but certain levels of fraud.
Yeah,
She called me and was like, "Hey, is there a way to call the bank and say this wasn't me?" And I said, "For legal purposes, no,
I mean it wasn't her, it was her daughter,
son." But yeah,
son. That it happens.
yeah.
Kids do
her
that
son
shit.
stole her identity.
Dang. Well, sometimes parents steal their kids' identity too. They get loans in their kids' names and shit.
Oh, I've heard of that.
It's so messed up.
And they don't know about it a lot
Yeah.
of the time.
You turn 18, 19, 20.
You got 200 credit.
You don't
score?
know. You go to get a lease and you're like, I got all kinds of shit on my credit score. And your dad's like, ugh.
What's my credit score? You don't have
Yeah,
one.
those were the gambling.
You mean my
days.
credit score? Shut up, kid. You're young. I needed it.
Yeah.
Fucking Russian music starts. Our credit score.
That's like
Yeah.
basically the same as pulling a gun on your kid.
It's similar these days.
It's fucked up.
Oh yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that shit. Eat your own shit sandwich, but don't make someone else eat it.
Yeah, it's like loans like that and student debt are the ones that travel through death.
Well, not
Crazy.
not all student loans are bad. Like if you get a FAFSA loan, it's not out of control. It's a
No.
federally subsidized whatever.
Well,
but
the ones you hear about are always the ones
the
that are like,
predatory ones.
You
are.
owe what? Yeah.
Yeah, but I went to state school.
We're not going to be like that.
Who?
Us.
Yeah, no.
It's a very easy. It's like
Well, it's not. Once look, we get paid and we're out of the picture. What
Yeah.
the
It's-
credit
and
company
you have a
does,
black belt.
That's up to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also like a black belt credit company.
We give them their black belts.
We like have a weird crypto coin. We
BB coin. BBC.
BB coin.
Oh my gosh, we're on
BBC.
a roll.
Wow, Andrew.
I'm telling you, you're gonna have to edit all this out. You're gonna have to cut it out just so
Trademark
nobody
me. I
knows it.
patented it already.
Yeah.
By the time this is out, it's mine.
This is where you heard it first, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank God we're not live.
the BBC coin.
BBC coin.
That's
Bet
like
you I get
saying
some action
ATM
on that.
machine.
Yeah, I know. The thing is there's probably already a place doing it.
Can we train there?
You can. You got to pay a buyout
A small
clause
fee.
though.
Yeah.
For us, it's really we have 5 easy $1,000 payments, and you have a fucking black belt.
Well, or
You
you
never
could
have
get
to worry about it.
Like, I've been in places that had legitimate jujitsu that had like black belt clubs, where you could go like, "Hey, you're a white belt, and your goal is to be a black belt." And so, what you're gonna do is you're gonna give me a fat fucking wad of cash,
Mhm.
and now you're gonna be in an accelerated learning program
Yeah.
where I'm going to basically guarantee you that if you follow this program, you'll be a black belt in 5 years or 6 years or whatever and there's people that do it.
Yeah, of course.
We're the FAFSA loan. That's the loan
Yeah.
shark.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to get paid.
Yeah.
Think
that's
about
not-
what we're
I mean,
doing.
There's
it's a
mouths
third
to
party.
feed.
At least fast food, like you're getting an education. What you're talking about is getting a bullshit loan
You're
for
gonna-
like an online
I mean, depends
school.
what your
You're gonna
education
get
is.
your black
Yeah.
belt.
That's true.
You're gonna get what you want, and you can go off and tell all the fucking idiots on r/jujitsu that you have your black belt.
I mean, is anybody really gonna fuck with a black belt?
No.
not if you
tell
tell
them
them,
that?
first. No.
Yeah, exactly. If you tell them that you're a black belt, most people
I'm a
just
black belt with back
shit.
pain. I can't roll.
I tell people I'm a blue belt, and they're just like, "Man, I don't want any piece of that guy." You know?
Right.
So
Yeah, I like that. Any more questions on that segment? That was good.
I got one more.
Yeah.
Why do you think a lot of people quit when they get to blue?
Because it's like that first big achievement, and I think some people let off the gas,
Yeah.
and
wash
then
their coach's car 5 times every
It's-
month.
it's like they push really hard to get there.
Yeah.
And in a lot of people's minds, they don't think in the beginning like I want to be a black belt. They think I want to be a blue belt. So they get to blue belt, and then they let off the gas a little bit because they realize like a purple belt. By the time you get to blue belt, you kind of realize that a purple belt's way better than a blue belt.
Yeah.
Like skill level, like purple belts are pretty good,
Yeah.
And so when you get your blue belt, you're like, fuck, how am I going to get to purple belt? That's the next belt. You're like, oh shit, that's a ways. And then some people just step off the gas.
Yeah.
And then once they quit coming, they'll go like, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back in 2 weeks or 6 weeks or 4 weeks or
Whatever.
once they like stop getting that rep in of like getting their gym bag and getting their shit together, packing their clothes before work so they have time and they could just like, there's like shit people have to do. They have to make certain arrangements and allocations in their life to come to jiu-jitsu. Some people do. Some people just come and it doesn't fuck their schedule up. Other people are like, if they don't pack their clothes before work or they don't like get shit lined up, then they can't make it to class on time.
Right.
So once they fall out of the groove of getting that rep in, it's really hard to get back because they fill their life up with other shit. Like
Yeah.
instead of going to jiu-jitsu Wednesday night, I started going to bowling night with Al because he invited me, and that's
Right.
kind of fun too. Now to go back to jiu-jitsu, I have to give that up.
Right.
Or my wife had me fucking volunteering at the church or whatever it is.
Whatever. Yeah.
Now it's like you have to sacrifice something to get back the thing that you kind of gave up. That happens. People get injured a lot
Oh, really?
because they quit coming.
Yeah.
'Cause they're like, I'm hurt. I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
So they're at
which
home.
itself is valid.
They do something else.
Yeah.
And then they get so used to that something else that to come back is like, I got to give that other thing up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you get hurt, the best thing to do is still come to class.
Yeah.
Just sit on the side and watch.
Dude, if I got hurt and I had the extra money and I got back into like Warhammer, you'd never see me again.
Right. I mean, I get it. It's a behavioral pattern thing.
Yeah.
So you got to like kind of be committed to it.
It's crazy though, like how easy it is to keep something like video games or Warhammer, but like something that you like so much, like jiu-jitsu, it's hard to get back into it. You know,
it itself is hard to do.
It's hard to
whereas
do.
everything else is usually you'll give time to anything if that's the only criteria. But like if the only other criteria is like $60, or for Warhammer like $200 for
and you
another
could just
set,
stay home and play it.
Yeah.
it's right. You're going home anyway.
Sit in
right?
your fucking
Right.
underwear.
That's where all your food and your underwear in your bed is. Like,
Yeah.
I
Shit's
don't
out
have to
there.
wash
Yeah.
anything. And when I'm tired, I just go 20 feet upstairs.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have to go roll around and actually put forth effort, and I don't have to learn anything.
Right.
I'm like, I turn my head off and all that bullshit.
Jiu-jitsu is like, I got to go down there. I got to do this. I got to do
Yeah.
that. Like,
My day sucked, and I'm going to willingly let it suck more.
Getting fucking Andrew's Kessa.
right.
You know?
Right.
It's not that.
It's not good.
It's not good.
It sucks.
Yeah. It sucks
So-
ass, dude.
So what happens is people, they go real hard to get to the blue belt. Like they're putting in work.
Yeah.
And you see it. Like you notice when like this dude's showing up, like he's coming, and then you're happy, like hell yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, is that going to be sustainable once they get this belt? Like, fuck. Some people disappear, man.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, we were talking about that a couple weeks ago. The batches that we got belted with, it's just like
Dude.
nothing against anybody because life comes up, but it's like,
Sure.
yeah, man, it's only a couple of us.
Out of
Left.
every crop, only a few stay,
Yeah.
and it's
Is
kind
that
of
at
like
every belt.
I think
I'm sure blue.
once you
was
get
probably
to
the
purple
biggest.
belt,
They're pretty
steadies
steady.
out.
Yeah.
if you get to purple belt, I think you can be a black belt. You just need to see it through.
I think
Yeah.
Rogan mentioned that. He's like, if you're a purple belt, you're already a black belt with plus time.
You're just not right. You pretty much have the structure kind of sorted out enough that you can become a black belt.
Mm.
And I think with brown belt, it's like you don't give anyone a brown belt. Brown belt is candidate black belt.
Yeah.
You don't give anyone a brown belt that you don't think can make the black belt.
Mm.
Just don't promote them to brown.
Yeah.
Just be like, yo, you got to do this or that or whatever it is. It is the one thing that's kind of hard is that jiu-jitsu used to be like, oh, hey, you're Joe whatever, and you started training when you were 50. You're not getting a black belt.
Yeah.
You could train till you're 70. You're not getting a
Yeah,
black
not
belt.
get a black
You're just not a black belt, dude.
Yeah.
You're never going to be able to function at that level. It's not like that now, though. It's like, hey, we're going to give you a black belt after 10 years and recognize you as like a black belt because the time you put in and
It's much more individual.
yeah.
Like compared to you 10 years ago, you're definitely a black belt kind of deal. Versus like if we threw you in with a
Sure.
tank of other black belts, you'd get mauled.
Right.
Kind of thing. There'd be nothing you could do.
I guess that's okay. I guess.
I think it's
Like an honorary
it's-
black belt.
It's just the fucking belts are weird.
I think
Yeah.
belts are pretty stupid, which is why we all should have black belts.
Yeah. I agree. I actually agree with you. I like
Whatever,
it.
dude.
It's nice and nogi that we don't flex the belts too much.
Yeah. Not really.
And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, okay, whatever belt you are, it's like whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
It's still super meaningful when coach presents it to you.
Sure.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
'Cause
It
it's like,
feels
oh
great.
yeah, I forgot we have belts here. It's right. Oh shit, look at this. This is cool.
Feels good to get.
And then
Get
the next day
recognized.
you come to class, everybody you didn't see on promotion night is like, hey, I heard what happened, saw the Instagram, congratulations. It's like, yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's a validation of hard work.
Everyone wants
And
it.
then it's like, oh shit, I gotta keep doing this.
Yeah.
Or, well, that's it. I'm out of here.
I think it's okay. It's just jiu-jitsu and grappling is like, how do you put qualification? Like people
Yeah.
want criteria
they do.
because they want to know. I want to check these boxes and I want my fucking belt.
Yeah. How many white belts have come in and been like, what do I need to do to get a blue belt?
I hear that the most from white belts, and then the second most is from blue belts wanting to be purple belts. And then after purple belt, I never hear it anymore. I
Yeah.
never hear somebody go, "What do I got to do to get brown belt?"
Yeah.
What do I got to do to get my black belt? It's just like shut up and train.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
all. You just got to keep going.
I just think, I know we just went over it, but it's the first time I've heard anyone, or you, because I include you in anyone, say you don't give anyone a brown that you don't think will make it to black. I've never heard it put like that.
Well, why would you?
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I never thought of it.
It's like, oh, we're gonna get you all the way here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna marry you, but we're not gonna have sex. It's like,
Yeah.
That's stupid.
right? Come on, man. This
Come
is what
on.
God wants. You gonna go against the Lord?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think that's true.
I think that's a valid. makes
I'd
sense.
super agree with it. I just
it's hard.
I wanted
Yeah.
to point it out because I had not heard that about that.
You want your students to be good
Yeah.
and not worry too much about the belts. That's ultimately what you want. But you can't not recognize people because eventually they're like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't like
Interesting.
promotions. Because people always get mad and
There's always some drama somewhere.
I don't like to make people feel bad, but I'm also like, I'm not going to give you a belt just because your feelings. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fucking care.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be the black belt that gains the reputation of just giving out easy belts.
No, and I've had guys come and train just because they want to get their belt.
Mm.
They're like, oh, I trained at this other place for 2 years and they won't promote me. Like, I just want to move on. And it's like, so what? You're going to come here for 2 months and I'm going to belt you? Like,
Yeah.
they'll just leave after they get their belt. They leave and go somewhere else. It's like, it's weird.
It is weird. I don't know, man. Like, I couldn't imagine bouncing gyms.
Oh, I know. It's just too hard. It's too dangerous. I don't want to
Yeah.
keep training with dudes I don't know.
With new people.
Nah. I
Lot
want to
No.
train with a crew who I know.
Yeah.
lot of trust.
Yeah, like I'm good here. Like I know these guys. I've trained with them for a long time. I know you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to have to go and start a whole new relationship with another coach and
Fuck
like
that.
what if this guy and I don't even freaking gel? Like
I know.
now I got to go find another gym somewhere else. And
it's so hard.
Fuck, dude, me
that.
and you live together now, and we wouldn't have even met had it not been through jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Right.
So that's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think blue was incredibly important for me only because of some shit that I had going on in my life and it being the end of the road for goals that I had put forth and was promising to some other people. And then I was like, man, I know that I can do that and I know I can set goals because I've had trouble with that before. So that was like more of a self-validation for me. It's also very nice to be validated by your peers and a coach.
Yeah, it is.
But after that, I was like, man, I know I'm in it for the long run. I don't give a shit when it happens again. And plus, I kind of like sandbagging, so I think that's really fun.
I think what happens is at purple belt, even though you go, everyone should be black belts. It's kind of like when you get to purple belt, people stop going easy at all. They're just like, okay, well, whatever. Like you go train somewhere and you're like, oh, he's a purple belt. They're not. They're like, oh,
They seem to get bit on both ends.
both ends.
Lowers want to kill you because they got something to prove,
And the
then
black
highers
belts want to fuck you up while they can.
because you're coming up.
Yes.
And they need to make
Especially
sure
if
they
you're
still
good.
can. Yeah.
Especially if you're real good. They like,
Yeah.
they want to get in your head. Yeah, I'll fuck this guy up a few times early, and then he'll always be a little leery around me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That's funny. I love the mental terrorism side of jiu-jitsu.
Look, if you're training with people all the time, I definitely think there's a part to that.
Mm.
Because being on the other side of it, there's guys that I've tooled in the past that have gotten significantly better, but they still in their head are like in that box that like I'm gonna tool them, and it's like I don't even think I could do that to you now. But you think I can.
Yeah.
So like
It's in your incentive to not correct
even
that.
better because then I don't have to do it.
See, perspective makes reality.
No,
It-
we're not talking about that.
I mean, listen, nothing can be reality like for what you do until it passes through here first. I'm just saying.
Right?
Okay, so having said that, right, perception does kind of make reality because your perception gauges how you react, and how you react is going to be the next moment that you create.
Mm.
So there is some truth to that because that's why schizophrenic people kill other people because they perceive that they're in danger when there's no danger.
Yeah.
It makes their reality. You know I'm right, dog.
Don't fight it. Just
Don't
go
fight
with
it,
it.
man.
Respectfully
Just let it happen.
Respectfully disagree.
Listen, man,
Just
I'm
let
gonna
it happen,
tool
Andrew.
you, man. Yeah, dog. Got you, man. Good questions. Good show tonight. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, man. That was fun.
It was good to see you. So, what do we got next? We got Eddie Bravo's coming out June 15th. We didn't even talk about the crazy open mat that we had on Friday night.
Oh, I know.
With Elijah Carlton and Matt Walsh and fucking Travis. The Mantis came out, man.
Yeah.
Travis Thomas just like had a really great time.
He's pumping out some ninja videos.
Yeah, he is with him and Matt Scaffer doing some real cool stuff at 10th Planet Decatur.
Nolan too.
Yeah, the one with Nolan I saw the other day. It was good.
Nick was up from Alabama. It was filled with a bunch of gangsters were here, man.
So much talent.
We did this seminar on Saturday with Matt Walsh. He showed us reverse lockdown. Then
I've been using it all week.
Holy Rollers on Sunday, and then we had Memorial Day open mat on Monday. We were just murking dudes. And then we had 10 round Tuesday.
Yeah.
By the time Wednesday came around, I'm like, I did 60 rounds in the last 4 days.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm going to pass.
Which is great. I think everybody was tuckered out because I got here Wednesday. And I was like, where is everybody?
Wednesday and Thursday, everyone was like, man, not moving.
We can't move.
So we got the tournament tomorrow. I'm stoked about that. I got to figure out class tomorrow. My quandary is Saturday mornings, everybody wants to go. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to go to the tournament.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm going to figure it out. Anyway, yeah, man. Eddie's coming out June 15th. If you're in the area, get signed up. Hit me up on Instagram. We'll get you set up. It's $150. If you're a 10th Planet student, it's $125.
We will check.
Yeah, I'm verifying fools.
Yeah.
I am. I'm going to give everyone wristbands at the door, I think. I'm not kidding. For one is like, there's just not enough space in here to have like a bunch of randos and spectators. And I can't do that. I can have like 4 or 5 extra people, and then the rest has got to be attendees. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the Guardian launch, we were slammed.
there's no room.
No.
Boogie, we were slammed.
We can't have a bunch of people sitting on the mats because we're going to need the space for the people doing the seminar.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just where it's at.
Yeah.
So I think what I'll do is like have somebody downstairs at the door. Like when you walk in, check you in, give you your.
I'm a door guy.
There you go.
I could do that.
Check you in. I'll have a list. They'll check you in, give you the wristband.
Yeah.
And then I'll have someone up at the door here. And when you come in, it's like, you better have that band, dude. If
And
you
I'll have given myfe a black belt by then.
I know.
I'm
going to give you a Dorman's black belt.
Dorman's black
Yeah.
belt. I'm going to bring that to the bar.
What if I could give provisional black belts that were like for Saturday and Sunday, you're a black belt?
Yeah.
I love
I'm on a
that.
2-day
I
black
like
belt
that even
pass.
more than my other idea.
Yeah, I do too.
Provisional
It's
black
like
belt.
it's like indulgences.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give you a black belt indulgence.
Okay, that sounds good.
Until you get tapped. Then you have to buy another one.
Hey, did that dude that's been training for 6 months just Americana you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Okay, guys, I think we're good, man. Thank you, guys. I love you so much. Thank
Love
you
you
out
guys.
there in the jiu-jitsu world. Make sure you check us out inside BJJ, and you could also check me out on Grappling Hour on the Bullpen with Raf Esparza and Jake Watson every Wednesday.
And if you're more of the watching type, we've been neglecting to say this, all of this is on YouTube.
Yeah, every week.
If you listen to it on Spotify or iTunes, and if you could review, that'd be
Fucking
great.
tell somebody.
Tell somebody about it. And if you're more of a watcher, we're on YouTube. As soon as it posts on the other ones, it posts on YouTube. So
Thanks, guys.
awesome. See you
Later,
guys.
everybody.
Late.
Thanks for hanging with us today. Please check out at Inside BJJ on everywhere you listen, on Instagram, 10th Planet Nashville for any information regarding the Eddie Bravo seminar on June 15th. Please take the time to check out Everyday Jiu-Jitsu and Cultists, a couple clothing companies we're all trying to get started. And have a good day. See ya.